Good morning, this is Petrus Vivius from Beerpens TV, 29 October 2017. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to discuss, it is disgusting, we're going to discuss the possible opening of the St. Lucia estuary mouth and management decisions surrounding it. Yesterday I sent out a view that stated that the Estuaries has breached into the ocean. It was a hoax played by some friends on me, but hey, we all survive. Jokes has been played on people, so sorry for the guys that made bookings to come down and come and fish. You still can come and fish, but there's no breach between the river and the ocean. Today I'm going to explain why this is very unlikely to happen. Bear with me. If we go to the blog called iSimangaliso.org, then you'll see me and Frankie Two Socks has created a platform where we can discuss the estuary management situation with the public. While it's waiting there, let me just get my face a little bit bigger. Why does it go to .com now? Who took my .org? Right, there was a hiccup in the DNS servers, but we got it sorted out. Here we are. We land on the entry that was written by Frankie Two Socks. Association of Recreational Beach Users seeks a public mandate to challenge poor decisions by iSimangaliso Wetland Park Authority. If you go and read there, you'll see why he says what he's saying. But here's the article that I'm more interested in, written by myself, by yours truly. Okay, luckily that photo didn't open. Let's go a little bit more down so that we can get a better picture. Okay, here we've got a view that was taken during the mountain bike rally that was held by iSimangaliso Wetland Park Authority. Beautiful rally, we've got nothing against it. Thank you for supporting it, guys. But here we're looking at the Mapelon sand dune, and that is the direction of the flow of the Estuaries River. And this is why I say that. Here we can see this is the Estuaries River coming down towards the ocean at Mapelon Bay. But we have got it doesn't run into a 90-degree dog's leg. This other smaller river to the right, more to Mapelon Bay, that one also flows with the Estuaries, normally quicker and faster. So it will push the Estuaries River straight into this view that we're looking down here. It will come from the Mapelon Bay straight into the wetlands area that we're looking at, where the mountain bikes is riding through. Now guys, bear with me, I know this is boring, but this is the end of the river flow. If you take the straight line that you see over there, it will end there where the estuary mouth used to be, and that is the end. Now if you follow this on Google Map, you'll see it's a huge swamp area that goes all the way down to Main Beach. All that and the St. Lucia estuary has to rise with at least 2 meters before we will have enough pressure to breach into the ocean. So no guys, even if you pray for a Des Moines, it cannot happen, because in the 5 rivers that used to feed the or that still feeds the lakes and estuary system, they had sediment traps, 9 dams that burst simultaneously the night of the Moina. All that water reached the lake system simultaneously. So the rainwater and the floodwater of the Mfolozi alone could never, ever created the damage that the Moina did. Cannot create the scouring effect that the Moina did. Nothing is the same anymore. So we can never have another De Moina. Everything is different. We can learn from the Moina what course the water takes. We can learn from the Moina what the outcome. We can predict from the information we got from the Moina and what the potential outcome is going to be. But we'll never have another De Moina. I'm sorry. Now, for the people that say I'm purely a doomsayer to say that the estuary cannot function without human interference, I found this on Google, very interesting reading. Now, I could claim that I've read this and say that's where I got my information from. Or I can stick with my original story to say I grew up in the area. I visited all the presentations, well, most of the presentations at KZN Wildlife or the old Parksport offices. Whichever way. But these people did various studies from 1986 to 1996. This is the last one that I found very interesting. They are T.R. Mason, S. Pillay, C.I. Wright, and P. Lindsay. This is heavy names in estuary management. This is guys that really take the flow of the water, the sediment from the 5 rivers, feeding into the lake and estuary system. And this is very interesting what they say here at the end. The Msunduzi River flow, that's one of the 5 rivers, plays a major role in the composition of the estuary salinity and velocity fields. It is calculated the Mfolozi River will fill with sediment in one. Mfolozi estuary would fill with sediment in 1.3 years if it was cut off from the sea. The major fluvial flood events help maintain the estuary by periodically pushing sediments towards and scouring and maintaining the flow channel in the estuary. Now the spit progrades seawards at 5 meters per year. During low fluvial flow condition, tidal flow velocities will become the dominant control on sediment transport in the estuary. Interchange of SPM between St. Lucia and Mfolozi estuary under present conditions is complicated by the strong transverse velocity shear between the 2 systems at the combined mouth. This is creating a salinity maintained axial conversions front that suppress mixing of solids and SPM between the system of up to 10 hours of the tidal cycle during the observed conditions. Now, to understand the rest of this, one has to purchase this article at roughly 400 South African rands. Now, the only thing that I can take out of here to explain to the novice like myself, it says it is calculated that the Mfolozi estuary will fill up with sediment in 1.3 years if it was cut off from the sea. That's all that we're interested in. None of these other big words. These guys know what they're talking about. They've done the calculations. if the Mfolozi St. Lucia estuary is cut off from the ocean, it will fill with sediment in 1.3 years. That's it. That's all we need to know. This is the other very interesting thing that we see, is the 84 and 87 flood flow scoured the estuary. Marine sand advanced up the estuary at a rate of 1,200 meters per year as a series of flat tidal deltas. But this is what I'm interested in. Over 600,000 square meters of sediment accumulated in the St. Lucia estuary mouth from February 1988 to November 1989. Of this amount, 466,000 square meters has been removed by dredging. And this has not stopped the shallowing of the estuary during high rainfalls. So high rainfall is bad because it brings topsoil width that is not managed in the catchment areas of the 5 rivers. These people that has been monitoring the estuary for so many years says without the dredging program, the mouth would ultimately close during low rainfall years, causing management problems. Now this is where the crux of the matter is, where we refer again to recreational beach driving. It's the only place that we can raise money to manage the dredging program. Government hasn't got the will nor the dedication to understand the severeness of this problem. They are apathetic towards the problem. We cannot be that. It's our heritage. It's the most important life support system on earth. So this is why I call on all the people that has got a vested interest in conservation. Allow us to pursue recreational beach driving in a manner where we can secure the funds to manage the estuary, St. Lucia estuary, correctly. That we can distribute the funds and create knowledge amongst the people that live in the catchment areas. That we can get government to come to the party and start with sediment management programs upcountry in these catchment areas. That is job creation on so many levels. And it all starts with a little bit of initiative down at the bottom, and all we're asking for this initiative to grow into a major conservation project is give us access to 47 hectares of coastline in front of St. Lucia estuary, the town. Unrestricted, but with access control, with management structures on the ground, enforced by traffic officers. You cannot take a park ranger and force him to be a traffic officer. He is there for the love of nature. He is not there to enforce rules onto public that doesn't want to adhere to rules. Let us use law enforcement officers on the ground to manage the beach access and the behavior of the beach users. Let us not restrict them to a silly amount of 150 vehicles per day. We know that St. Lucia Beach can accommodate up to 4,000 vehicles per day. We don't say allow 4,000 vehicles. We say make it comfortable, let the people use the beach. Let's make money, let's repair the environment. That is what we are calling for from the public. That's all we are calling for from the public. Give us the right to manage our heritage to the advantage for our children and for the planet. Remember, guys, estuaries are the most important life support systems on Earth.